Yo, what's up? Chào mừng các time skipper đến với kênh YouTube Gà Trà Bông của mình. Hôm nay chúng ta sẽ quay trở lại tiếp tục cốt truyện phiên bản 1.8. Tại 7 act trước chúng ta đã có cái nhìn tổng quát về thị trấn Rayashki, và sắp tới thị trấn này sẽ phải đón chịu một thảm họa nào đó. Vậy, thảm họa đó là gì? Và liệu người dân thị trấn này sẽ đối mặt với vấn đề này như thế nào? Bây giờ các bạn hãy làm miếng bánh, uống miếng nước. Chúng ta hãy cùng tiếp tục nhé. Let's go!
Oh, Miss Vertin, I suggest we spend more time together like this
Tại
to
trước
share
thì
more
mình đã
ideas
làm
and
10 nháy
philosophy.
ra luôn villa các bạn ạ. Hãy chuyển luôn. Không hiểu cái gì luôn.
These paint stains and water spots were left after class. The children back in the old days, we often
Xinh
danced
vậy.
around the
Mình đã
campfire.
lên
After
I2
that,
villa các bạn
we
ạ.
talked about.
Đang thiếu để nâng cấp nấc lên
Miss Vertin, I suggest
50
we
với
spend
cả lên I3. Đây là ba nhân vật chính của truyện giờ này. Tạm biệt Rayashki. Abus là đứa trẻ, là học sinh của Villa. Villa là thầy cô giáo. Và Winsong là một researcher liên quan tổ chức Zeno và đến Rayashki để nghiên cứu về địa mạch của thị trấn này. Và từ việc nghiên cứu địa mạch đấy thì cô ấy đã phát hiện ra một thảm họa sắp xảy đến với thị trấn. Và chúng ta hãy cùng đến với act 8 nhé. Let's go. Yo, the odd Geode of Factory. Gì đó liên quan nhà máy. Children's Square, Rayashki.
I'm happy that you let us show you around, Miss Vinsong. We haven't had many other visitors here since the critters started coming near the town.
Tại thị trấn này xa quá, gần
I
tận
met a blind lady
cực nhỉ?
once. She always smiles, and she has a pretty typewriter. Villa said she's a writer.
một blind lady, một cô gái, một người đàn bà mù. Có vẻ như là người đàn bà đấy liên quan tới người đàn bà ở cốt truyện 1.6 à? Mình quên mất tên rồi. Người mà cùng với Yenisei đi đến Trung Quốc nhỉ?
The writer has been to many towns,
Đúng rồi.
and she fills up her papers with so much ink, just like I do. So, I made the drawing for her too. And she promised us that she will tell more people to come visit Rayashki.
Will people from other places like it here?
Liệu câu chuyện này thì được lại bởi người đàn bà đấy hay là Winsong? Ban đầu câu chuyện này kể lại không biết là ai kể lại câu chuyện này nhỉ? Images bounce around in Agus's mind, just autographs.
What about your other visitors?
I remember they had green and red rectangular paper and some shiny cookies in their hands.
Như vậy.
They tried to trade us their silly papers so they could take our cans and things. They never wanted to work with their own hands. And Rayashki doesn't like lazy bones.
On this, the children's head bobbed in agreement.
Miss Vinsong, Pitcher got all of us together last night, and we read for our How to Be a Good Tour Guide. So, we can guide you.
Miss Winsong is just a bit strange. She's not lazy.
The child hides his face, but the blush on his cheeks reaches up his ears.
This time, I want borscht, blynshik, and olagi.
Mấy cái này là gì? Một thức uống à? Hay là đồ ăn?
Let's not hurry on to our rewards, Avgus. We haven't helped Miss Vinsong yet.
Oh, right.
Figures, large and small, pass deftly through the once tightly sealed iron door, arriving at the only factory left, whose lock has not yet rusted over. Đây là nhà máy đây. Nhà máy thị trấn
Good to see our little factory, Miss Winston.
Để khai thác quặng, sản xuất.
Hello, sir.
Quặng.
The kids have told me that you want to learn more about the history of Rayashki and the strange things that have happened in the past, yes?
Đây, chuẩn bị học lịch sử Rayashki thôi.
I do.
Theo lịch sử bắt đầu.
But would that be going against any rules?
Most certainly not, miss. We're not some stubborn old goats that dismiss people for asking questions.
He strides forward.
In fact, I'm relieved. It will be much easier to talk to you than that bitter fellow from Zeno. He came to the factory with his armed squad, took a quick look around, and left even without a polite farewell.
Sự khác biệt giữa
Like a whiff of cold
Lãnh đạo.
breeze, that one.
Zeno và một người researcher của Zeno.
These old, outdated machines and hundreds of workers, young and old, each one a mouth to be fed. They are certainly not a pretty sight to the eyes of that greedy hyena.
A pathetic number-crunching cretin.
The whispered insult creeps up in her ear, in a listener's ear.
I am starting to like you, miss. We would have much to talk about, perhaps over a drink, if only I didn't have to get on with my work.
A curious look around goes beyond the hard laboring workers. Tightly sealed door and a thick layer of dust on aging machinery paint a less than optimistic picture.
You can see what's going on here, right? Don't feel sorry for us. Xena might no longer need this ore processing factory, but we can make use of what's left of it. Once we get rid of the critters, we can arrange for other minerals or materials to be shipped to Rayashki for processing.
He rubbed his hands together, leaning against the shell of a rusted machine.
It is a shame we wasted so much of our good years, never preparing for these bad times. If those strange little monsters weren't there, we might be able to return to our mines. Then we'd really be able to turn things around.
About these mining sites.
Chiến đấu thôi. Her notebook flutters rapidly, each page turning as fast as a rolling flame.
Mr. Knut, have you ever found anything there, other than runium ore?
Never. I know those sites like the back of my own hand. I've never seen any other minerals of any worth there.
The road man seems to catch her disappointment, and far quicker than she expected.
But give it some time, miss. Well, give me some time. Just a few months ago, back when Xena were still keen to work with us and not just ship us away, I remember they found some strange little pebbles. Dark pebbles that were stuck in the clothes of those little monsters. Zeno soon sent out some troops and caught all the monsters. They didn't leave a single one behind. We never heard about those pebbles again, nor have we found more of them in the mines. And you know the rest. Now we've exhausted the runium, and more strange-looking critters have appeared. So it's not safe to go back there. We left them completely deserted.
Please, take a look at this, Mr. Knut.
Winsong sketches fervently at Knut lumbers towards her with a curious eye.
No, their claws were thicker than a polar bear's.
Con này à?
But these are closer.
Là con này chapter trước, act trước vừa làm hủy cái calibrator của Winsong.
These monsters had much larger teeth. They almost look like old mining picks. And no ears.
Không có tai, tai nó đằng sau.
Could they be some kind of hoituk?
Hoituk, không phải kikituk.
Yes, this one looked just like the creatures.
If that's true, then it may be another big fish that has come here to feed.
It is true. You can ask around. Many of the other workers have seen it.
Một loạt quái mới.
So, the color of a hoituk is bright yellow, and that matches with these bright yellow lines I've traced here on the map. They are burrowing animals, often living as deep as 50 meters underground, so if they were here, that must mean... that there must be some undiscovered resource here.
The corners of her mouth curl as she mutters the words.
Talk of undiscovered resources would be music to our ears, miss.
I don't want to get your hopes up. It's still too early to draw any conclusions.
Yet, the corner of your mouth is suggesting the opposite.
I must be cautious before confirming there really is a new resource. Nonetheless, it's a silver lining. Thank you, Mr. Knut.
Think nothing of it, miss. Maybe one day you and your research will return the favor.
I will, if I can.
She reaches out her hand and he shakes it heartily with a warm strength.
I hope your work here can be resumed shortly.
Don't worry about us. We will find a way to drive those critters away and start production once again. We have all our brothers and sisters with us, and these machines still run perfectly. As long as we continue to put in our best effort, there's no reason why things won't get better.
Tiếng gì vậy? He pats the trembling, coughing machine with affection, like embracing an old friend.
Is this exceptionally positive spirit common with the people here?
Well, can't blame us for that. There are very few places in the world like Rayashki. Here, everyone earns their food and their rest through working hard together. Then outside of work, ice hockey, learning courses, even music lessons. Not everyone is as lucky as us. That is why we won't let Rayashki die.
Knut's voice rises as if singing.
With busy hands and open hearts, Rayashki will live on.
Thì tại sao tên câu chuyện là Farewell Rayashki vậy?
It will grow stronger,
Có đi hay
glowing
không?
as brightly as these furnaces.
Something brilliant indeed burns within the furnaces. A product greater than any ore or slag, emerging from the melting purpose and sweat. The painter stopped, stirred once again, but this time she seems to be sketching out something far harder to picture.
I have to say, Rayashki is truly a curious place.
Winsong mutters to herself.
It has a spirit which I've never found elsewhere.
Đúng kiểu ra miền núi khác hơn thành phố.
Perhaps that's what was missing from the study of ley lines in the past.
Người miền núi chất. Đây người Bắc Cực chất. Nói rồi. An odd sound interrupts her contemplation. The sunflower passed against the boy's belly.
Miss Winsong, would you like to meet Mr. Patrick?
Mr. Patrick. The friendly bear nods with an understanding smile.
It's time to go to the canteen, boys and girls. Eat well, and you'll grow strong. Patrick knows how to feed you well. He's the best cook in town. But I would suggest you be careful with that one, if you don't want to get stuck with his endless chatter all night.
I have never been to the canteen. I stayed out of that area in my previous visits to avoid unwanted trouble.
Tại sao vậy?
Forward to Comrade Blinchik.
Comrade Blinchik.
До скорой встречи, miss. I look forward to hearing good news from you.
Knut waves them off before settling back into his world of metal. The churning and whizzing of machinery replacing work. The canteen buzzes with a din of workers. The children weave through the busy hall, leading green song by the hand. Canteen của nhà máy.
This is our canteen. We play hide and seek here when we're hungry.
Gì hả? Tại sao?
Comrade
Cái
stew and potato piroshki are always the easiest to find. They're not very clever either.
Đồ ăn là comrade thôi.
But Comrade Blinchik is very good at the game. He can only be found at dinners on Friday.
Blinchik là món gì?
They have good food, like mashed potatoes and boiled potatoes and potato stew. Mr. Patrick said a good cook can turn even simple ingredients into delicious food.
Toàn món liên quan khoai tây. Khoai tây là thứ dễ thương nhất ở vùng đất cằn cỗi này. Nina casts a glance around her before she speaks softly.
The grown-ups are so kind to us. Sometimes they give us their cheese and salad, so they only have potatoes to eat.
Don't cry, Nina. Remember when you shared your Lenka with everyone?
Lenka là một loại sô-cô-la.
When we grow up, it'll be our turn to help the grown-ups with their potatoes.
There is an awareness in them, the gravity few children possess at their age. Thankfully, some do retain their blissful innocence.
We also have the Tin Hat Festival, when they give us metal hats with food in them.
August, it's called the Workers' Festival. We have it every month. Everyone must sit in a circle in the canteen and sing songs. And Miss Villa plays the accordion for us.
Không ai hiểu được.
We each get a can of food in it. Sometimes it's shonka, sometimes it's salad, sometimes sprouts.
Yes, and after the Tin Hat Festival, we would bury our tin hats in the ground. Yellow ones, red ones, and white ones. Then tiny trees will come out from them next year.
I have told you many times, they are not tin seeds and they don't grow into trees. They are just tin cans. We only bury them so they won't pollute the snow.
The subject of that debate flips a hidden switch in Winsong's mind, the revelations flicking into light.
Piles of tin cans. Food.
She unfolds the late energy map, pointing to the last blurred area of interwoven lines and traces.
Those empty cans you mentioned, did you store them here?
Oh, I know this place. That's where the adults dug a big hole. They put some things inside. It's covered up with rocks and ice now.
Yes, Fasono is right. That's where the grown-ups put all our old metal after they make them into little cubes. Miss Vila said it helps keep our town and the whole region clean. Why? What's wrong with that place?
Có vấn đề gì?
I'm thrilled. There must be lots of big fish left to be found around there. If I can write a report and provide a practical plan, maybe I can get I could request reinforcements.
Big fish dụ như là nguồn địa mạch, năng lượng địa mạch rất là lớn. She hears, swallowing back the unfriendly name.
Yay! School trip! School trip!
Buổi dã ngoại.
This is no trip, children. I'm not going there for a hike. You must stay in town and be good. That goes for every one of you. Understood?
Her resolution fails before she even finishes. The children's protests rise in a disordered chorus, drowning all the other surrounding sounds, only to be matched by the static voice of an announcement. Này là kiểu sĩ quan gì đó của tổ chức Zeno này, đại diện Zeno tới Rayashki. Winsong clutches at the thin straw of starvation.
Shh! Quiet, kids!
Winsong thì chưa lộ ra là một researcher đến từ Zeno.
Attention please. Tomorrow at 8 in the morning, we will be holding our final hearing. In this meeting, we hope to finalize our next steps and answer any remaining questions. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thông báo là mọi người sẽ được chuyển đi khỏi thị trấn này. To be continued. Heavier than knowledge. Nặng hơn cả kiến thức. Phòng meeting room. Betrothed leans back in his armchair, casting a fleeting glance forward before his head falls.
What's this? Are you planning on getting a job with Zeno too?
Huh?
Không biết Zeno là...
It says here you've been staying in this town for months, but it seems you're not on our list for potential recruitment from Rayashki.
The smile on his face remains as affably saccharine as ever.
I should remind you, for you researchers, what you produce tells much more about you than your efforts.
That's precisely why I'm here.
Go on.
He finally decides to raise his head up.
Based on the recent investigations, I'm confident that there is a new energy source in the area that has yet to be discovered.
And that's it? We already believed there was something here when we sent you out in the first place. You were sent here to find it. Instead, all you do is confirm what we already knew.
But you said that perpetual energy was just a myth, didn't you?
Of course it wasn't just a myth, lady. Why else would we ask you to investigate here in the first place?
Vậy hai người biết nhau mà. Winsong gives a frown that slips quite intentionally into a scowl. Vậy Winsong chưa gia nhập Zeno.
Do you have anything else to report?
No, but I do need your help. I will need an armed squad to come with me to the mining sites so that I can continue my investigations into this subject. I'm afraid I don't know how long it will take. It also depends on the number of soldiers you can spare for the task.
You have a terrible sense of humor.
I'm not being funny. You want more research on the new resource too, don't you?
Miss Winsong, do you really think this is even a remotely reasonable request? Critters are running rampant in the area, and you demand help to verify what is, as far as I can see, a highly questionable conclusion. Why should I waste Zeno's time and resources on this? Not to mention, putting the lives of our soldiers at risk.
If you have doubts, please take a look at these files.
The researcher dives her hand into her bag, but is met with a wave of dismissal.
And let me guess. You learned all this from your study of ley lines? To date, the theory of ley lines has neither been approved by the Arcane Study Review Association, nor accepted by the Project Assessment of Human Science and Technology. It has 0 academic achievements, 0 endorsements, and aside from the questionable example in front of me, 0 researchers.
That's all only a temporary setback.
Ms. Winsong, I sympathize with the awkward situation I have put you in. However, Zeno simply cannot afford to waste resources on a proposal without any solid evidence.
I will give you something. All I need is a bit of help up front, I promise.
The look in his eye is glazed, bored, but Winsong does not falter.
Did you not come here to deal with these critters? Then what's the fuss about? Can't you deal with them while accompanying me to these mining sites as well?
Bethold's eyes widen, now unglazed, and he rises. He paces silently, drifting at first, then proceeding to the window shell.
I'm afraid you've got our intentions altogether wrong.
The windows close tightly, sealing the last whispers of wind from the outside.
Zeno is here for one thing only. A source of perpetual energy. This is what you have been tasked to find, with the resources you were given. We won't approve any further requests until you have a solid lead. We aren't paying you for a charity mission.
So then you never planned on controlling the critters here? The squad you brought here was to control the town?
A force sufficient to deal with the critters would have attracted unwanted attention from our rivals. It is not in our interests to share this town or its resources. I'm sure you can see that.
So even if we do find the resource for you, you won't leave this town or its people alone.
We're talking about the ultimate energy source of Arcanum. Do you think we will just walk away and leave it to be squandered by a bunch of ignorant peasants and miners?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Bethold's smile, face like a bad aftertaste.
What we are going to do with Rayashki should be of no concern to you. We have made every arrangement for them. We aren't monsters. Before the final decision is made, we will continue to help the locals as much as we can, including you.
Before the wide-eyed researcher can voice her dissent, Bethold steers the conversation with well-practiced ease. Wordlessly, he draws out attractive-looking documents and slides across the table toward her. Recommendation. Letter.
You seem surprised. Isn't it what you have always wanted? With Zeno's endorsement, you will be able to teach your program in any university. We have prepared this gesture of our good faith in you. Now, it's your turn to show yours. Forget about an armed squad. They have more important things to do. You're on your own, my friend. But prove to us that you can do this job and bring us the best answer you can give.
The pale letterhead stings Winsong's fingertips.
And this piece of paper will be yours when you complete your mission.
I understand.
See that you do. Good luck out there, Miss Winsong.
Deep footprints, now half buried in fresh snow, trace the path of the researchers determined to march behind her. Càng lúc càng tuyết này, tuyết rơi mùa hè này. Her carriage, passion, and body temperature rapidly cooling against the blizzard.
Was I out of my mind? He was just trying to get me out of his office. He threw a carrot out of the window and I chased right after it like a blinded mule. Still.
Her hands lingers on the paper nestles within her pocket.
Maybe this carrot is too good to let go.
With a sign of resignation, she reaches deeper.
Focus. Once I fill the gaps in my data, I will be able to pitch it to Zeno, and all subsequent research won't be a problem anymore. The primary food sources for Hoytuk are raw minerals underground. Those processed metals only keep them from starving to death. They wouldn't have gone across any icy ocean just to gnaw on old equipment and trash. All I need to do is find a trace of their activities so that I can learn about their current conditions, and from there, locate their other food sources. Stay calm. Hoytuk are gentle creatures. They rarely attack humans. I just need to be cautious.
Túc thì thân thiện hơn cái bọn Kiki Túc. Trước vào nhà nó hỏng đồ đạc. Her internal struggles will have to wait as small practical problems loom larger. The blizzard has covered almost everything, leaving a few cans to poke out, rattling along with the wind. Tiếng Nga.
All right, change of direction. If I were to look down instead of looking forward, maybe I should scan the area and follow where the ley energy is leading, just like I did at Silbury Hill.
Silbury Hill. Này chắc là mấy tuần nữa có câu chuyện quá khứ.
Of course, I hope the outcome will be different this time.
Chắc thế rồi. Quá khứ của Winston. She surveys the expanse of boundless snow.
Before all that, I need to clear out this place. Природа — это числа и черты.
Winston biết nhiều phép vậy. Đúng rồi. Kiểu có được đào tạo. Đào tạo bởi Foundation hay đào tạo với ai? Winston thuộc Foundation. Bạn biết có khả năng sử dụng phép thành thạo, IQ thành thạo. Hai Túc đến. Intelligence slowly wave along the seashore, a mix of mud, snow and stone. A violent resonance spreads beyond it, on which is unaware. Clearly, these creatures harbor some discontent as the scars on the land.
Shoot! Now I've done it. Those vestigial digging teeth, the 3 fingers long tearing teeth, these are not Hoytuk.
Không phải Hoytuk. Thế. They bear their teeth and claws in the rammed thick way, like a primitive pre-feeding ritual.
These scaled wings must be for swimming. Then you must be mutant Kikituk from the Olga area.
Toàn bọn mutant này, toàn bọn biến dị.
You should be at the Olga Strait hunting for migrating salmon and whales, not here.
The Kikituks no longer contain themselves and pounce towards Winston. Chiến thôi. Này chắc là đấy vậy. Vậy là hệ khoáng sản này. Sản đơn giản. Đấm.
I can't wait anymore.
Ngồi chờ.
They're just little games.
Learn
from silence.
Rock, rock, rock! Change the world! Ha! Peace and love! Peace and love! Stop me up! They're just little games. Woohoo! Release! Hip hip! Hooray!
hooray!
Hip hip hooray! Winsong sits slumped on the ground, grasping for air. The fury has not yet abated. The creatures hold their ground.
Why would you come here? What inspired you to trek across the ocean just to hunt for humans?
Her aggressors show no signs of understanding. The inch closer, drool drooping from the mouth.
It seems while their claws and teeth have degraded, their reflex is much quicker than a Hoytuk's. They perceived my approach even though I used my ley line reader as a dampener.
A rumble distant and near, drowns at her side. A gunshot hammers out nearby, the shot landing on one of the snarling Kikituk. The boat is drawn back. The familiar sound sends another scurrying away.
Get out! Get out of here! I'll cover you!
More gunfire thunders over and over until the last Kikituk abandoned their position.
Thank you, sir.
Composing herself, the researcher immediately returns to her work.
Yevgeny, the kids told me about a can pile. Is it nearby?
Can pile?
Nơi chôn đồ nóng hổi. He furrows his brow, motioning his eyes to some hilly snowdrifts nearby.
They must be talking about our waste metal. I'm afraid it's gone, Miss Winsong. Maybe animals dug it all out, or maybe those little monsters ate it.
Do you know if that happened before or after the Runian mines ran dry?
I'm not sure.
Evgeny's brow furrows again, this time casting a surveying glance at her scattered instruments.
You shouldn't be here. There's nothing of value to find in this place. And you're not supposed to be using this arcane equipment here either. We have a better way to deal with these fierce little monsters. What you're doing will just attract more of them.
His statement rattles her.
You can drive away the Kikituks?
Not anymore. We don't have much left to fight them off with. Zeno didn't bring any equipment for our team, let alone any weapons. Go. Leave before it's too late.
He carefully checks the rifle in his hand.
What if I don't want to just give up?
Evgeny slows down, making his expression come across as even more deliberate.
I've seen your residence application. You say you are a researcher. Then you should be clever enough not to go down a fruitless and dangerous path.
I admit that what I am doing here is reckless, and maybe I'm just motivated by my own selfish interests, but I can't just walk away from my commitments. You have lived in Rayashki for a long time. You know what commitment means here much better than I do.
There is a shift in his face as he turns away from her.
I won't give it up so easily. Just like the people here won't give away their land like nothing.
It's stubbornness. That's all. They should have gone to other places and put their talents to good use, rather than staying here to fight for nothing.
Winsong holds a stare, lifting her chin to match up to him.
Is that why you gave away the town so easily to Zeno? Do you really even know your neighbors?
I have lived and worked together with them for decades. Don't be ridiculous. I agree with Zeno's perspective.
I've been to many places, and I have encountered many people like you. Stuck-up leader types, making decisions on behalf of other people because it's what's good for them.
And they should listen, just as you should now.
He braces the rifle as his motions go back and scans the nearby horizon.
It's my responsibility to protect everyone, to do right by them. I will make them see it tomorrow at the hearing.
To be continued. Chương 9 kết thúc. Chương 10 chuẩn bị lại đánh boss. 3 cấp độ này. The only days left. Đây là meeting ở quảng trường đây này. Can life still go on? Cuộc sống có thể tiếp tục không? Cuộc sống sẽ tiếp tục nhưng mà nó chưa bao giờ kết thúc. People stream in from all directions. They stand now at the crossroads of the town's fate.
People of Rayashki, my dear friends, good day to you all. Over the past 2 days, Sino has assessed the potential risks and benefits in the area and held hearings on what should be done about the future of this town. Our hearings saw very limited attendance. We've taken that to be a gesture of approval. Mr. Evgeny has put in a great effort helping to make these changes happen. We all owe him a great deal. Thank you, sir.
He motions to Evgeny at his side. A freshly printed document unfurls before a present. The note seal stamped deliberately in the most prominent position.
Please believe that we have made the best decision we could for you. We all know the runium here has run dry, and the land has been exhausted of all further material wealth. Now and into the foreseeable future. As a result, your local processing factory has lost its intended purpose. What's more, Sino has changed our cooperation strategy. Though your town's loyalty will never be forgotten, we must have a sober-minded view of its costs and benefits. To sum up, our final decision is that we will be ending operations and all future cooperation between Sino and Rayashki.
A heavy hammer swings in the square, producing a whistling wind.
Well, Mr. Bertolt, you have just got here. Perhaps you didn't have enough time to get to know us well enough. Rayashki's value is not just in runium. We have many other factories too.
Urgent words of the protest flood in from all sides.
Yes, you have a brick factory, a power plant, many forklifts, a smattering of conveyor belts. But all these were all built and suited for only the processing of runium ore. Without the ore, they simply have no benefit to us.
The crowd murmurs, voices bubbling up and simmering like boiling water. Bertolt wraps the table, ending the brawl.
Now that you have full knowledge of the situation and our intentions, we want to assure you that your loyalty has not been forgotten. So we have generously prepared 2 choices for the future of Rayashki.
The assembly hush.
Firstly, Sino believes that you have many valuable qualities. The determination and skills you've shown in the past year of our cooperation have proved that your people can be a great asset to us.
Vito scans across the faces looking back at him.
Indeed. Many of you already meet the entrance requirements to join Xeno. Therefore, on behalf of Xeno Arms Academy, I wish to extend a heartfelt invitation to you. Leave Rayashki, join us, and work for one of our other branches as members of Xeno.
What are you saying? You want us to abandon our home for some promise of a job?
Calm down, Mr. Knut. This is not about abandoning your home. It's about joining us in our efforts to contribute to world peace through a more optimized allocation of manpower.
So you're just going to pack us all up and ship us away to work for Xeno?
You misunderstand, madam.
He closes the folder, looking confusedly towards the children beside Winsor.
Every year, Xeno dismisses 4% of our employees because they failed to pass our rigorous work reviews. And the number of our colleagues that are killed in the line of duty is even larger still. Working for Xeno is a privilege, not a gift. That's why only a small number of you will be allowed to come and work for us.
What?
Now, according to Article 58 in the section on protection of Arcanist rights signed at the Event Horizon Convention, we will provide basic supplies for any residents who haven't been offered a position with Xeno. They will be transferred immediately to the nearest relief station until our social workers contact them for further arrangements.
So then, you're suggesting you will send our children and elderly away to some kind of refugee station? And the rest of us must go to work for Xeno without any questions? Pridurak! This is total rubbish!
You blat! He whizzes off, then pushes aside the genial soldier in front of him.
Sir, please lower your voice.
Well, you would be glad to know that your work experience in particular is valuable to Xeno, Mr. Knut.
He attempts a pat on Knut's shoulder, who shrugs him off. But Vito acts entirely unfazed, unfolding the argument.
If you're not
further.
interested in our first plan, we have another. If the residents in the area prove reluctant to relocate, Xeno can offer another alternative. As stated earlier, Rayashki is a remote town that possesses some significant industrial infrastructure. Therefore, it could be considered an ideal location for a new complex of arms factories. There would be a need to substantially upgrade the Rayashki Wharf, to turn it into one of the seaports Xeno plans to build across the globe. Additionally, a radio station will be constructed within the town, which will better facilitate our communication throughout the Arctic region so as to stabilize and coordinate with the other powers in the area. We will now be passing out forms, listing the options I've presented. Please fill them in with your choice.
So your only other option is to turn Rayashki into some kind of military base under Xeno's control?
I won't put it so bluntly, but you're not incorrect. Our resources, as much as anyone's, are limited, and they must be put to good use. We cannot afford to waste them on strategically useless, costly people and places. If you want Xeno to help you, you should be able to give us something in return. Don't you agree?
He folds the proposal again with satisfaction. The crowd heaves in protest, held at bay by the soldiers around Vito.
So Yevgeny, this is the best choice you made for all of us?
I must speak in Mr. Evgeny's defense. He is committed to his duty and only wishes to do what he can for his compatriots.
Shameless!
All you've done is sold us out.
You tell them, Knut.
Do you think it's getting a bit windy lately? Clearly, with all the hot air in Evgeny's head, his mind has been blown away.
Countless eyes fall on Evgeny. Disappointment, sadness, perhaps something more complex.
I swear to you, I'm not doing this out of my own interest.
Mà nếu rời đi thì chỗ này kiểu gì cũng thành trại lính của Zeno, có khác biệt gì đâu. Rời đi chỗ này bỏ trống rồi.
Comrades, there are many better places in this world, and you have better purposes to fulfill. You shouldn't waste your time here.
Pinocchio. The brave man puffs up with anger.
Let's all calm down, my friends. It's time to be reasonable. Think carefully. Zeno has been very generous regarding the offers before you.
Các vua còn thua lại làng. He readies himself, as if about to launch into the grand prepared speech, but his hand trembles. A chill wind sweeps over him.
Generous? Now that's ridiculous. We won't let you take away our family and friends, nor are we about to let you turn our town into a puppet state.
We will stay here, no matter what.
Comrades, I understand how you feel right now, but we must face the cruel reality of our situation.
And you're willing to send away our own people, or give up on all we've built here because of this so-called reality?
It is the only way forward. If we continue to stay here without any help, it will be the end of us either way.
Do we have to turn to Zeno for this help?
Evgeny fails to react at first, but a defeated expression comes over him.
The truth is, just as Rayashki's economy has been dependent on Runion, we remain dependent on Zeno. Without them, at the present rate of consumption, we will be out of supplies and materials within a year.
Phụ thuộc vào Zeno nên chỉ có thể theo Zeno thôi, không khác được. The silent tidal shifts sweeps over those assembled. Mình xong cho cái ý kiến cái. The researcher observes the change in harsh recognition.
The situation looks bad. Zeno is determined to gain control over this place.
She touches the unsealed letter. Her fingers jump away, as if his had been electrified.
But if I complete the task as Zeno requested, does it mean?
Those words echo in her ears.
I will shatter their dream? And what about my dream?
The words stick in her throat.
Did the people who refuse to acknowledge the study of ley lines act out of the same self-interest? I've seen this happen so many times before. A simple dream is made to face a cruel reality, where the clever ones give up and leave, and the stubborn fools remain, waiting to be crushed. We asked for our misery.
She turns, her mixed feeling refusing to settle. The war of soldiers has suppressed most of the dissent in the square. But still, some briefly charge forward.
Wait! I'm not finished!
Vito dismisses her with his hand and leaves the stage.
But I am Miss V.
The researcher remains stunned, but this potent chemistry of hope and resolve begins to catalyze something in her.
Sir, with all due respect, I can't complete this task alone. As an ordinary researcher, I can relate to them. Please, forgive me for interrupting.
She lifts her head proudly, looking out in the direction of the crowd.
I have heard so much about Rayashki these days. They started from nothing, but bit by bit they accomplished the impossible. Their voice should be heard. Природа — это числа и черты.
The soil and snow under her feet become imbued with new life. The clan into looking them up in a comical fashion. The teacher seizes this opportunity. She climbs over the word of confused soldiers and charges forward.
Mr. Boathold, you can't hold them any longer.
Đánh với lính à? Chiến thôi.
Join with us, comrades.
Villa luôn.
I admire your courage.
Stay focused.
Heart still.
Not lightning.
Brass shield and armor of the forest.
Đây là bắp Rubik Dion dùng ngoài đan mét rồi đó.
I'm serious. Stay focused.
Jessica dùng một tí.
Just like the prophecies of the woods, the scales have already been.
Tưởng anh boss là đánh mũi lính này. The conflict ceases. Scaly palms forcefully grab Vito's arm, sharp nails tearing at his sleeve.
Now, will you listen to me?
A clean, new ledger is stuffed into Vito's hands.
We don't need your help. Your soldiers and your tyranny are no longer welcome here.
Tiếng nhạc hào hùng, chuẩn bị khởi nghĩa. Lật đổ chế độ. Villa turns around to face her people.
Comrades, what do you say? Shall we solve the problem with the strength of our own hands and hearts?
Đồng chí, chúng ta cứ cùng chiến đấu.
What else can we do? This is what we've always done when there was a problem.
There will be more solutions than problems if we work together.
If I must die, I will die here with all of you.
Stop talking nonsense, you idiot! Nobody is going to die.
Rayashki belongs to all of us. We will stand with it till its last moment.
Lại như không có người cung cấp mà nguồn đưa thực phẩm ra. The sudden surge of conviction and unity counts the gods as they move backward. Many brush with shame. Some of them quietly withdraw.
They might say they're just ordinary people, but they are so brave and noble.
Người mình nuôi chất mà. Dân Hải Phòng cũng lòng vòng. Rayashki không tự ti. Delay Hunters. On Sleepless Nights. Vẫn ở quảng trường. Không biết đoạn cao trào sẽ là gì. chưa biết được thảm họa như nào. A lonely researcher aimlessly paces through Rayashki Square. The town's cold wind cleaning cannot smooth the wrinkles of her brow.
Could I really have traded the future of these people away from my ley line studies? Zeno. I was a mule chasing after a carrot on a stick. They lured me here all so I could help ruin everything.
Her voice burst up from her chest.
You seem to be in a good mood. We taught Zeno a lesson. They were forced to leave with their devil's bargains and tails stuck behind them. We fought back, finally. A nice little trick that was. Thank you, Comrade Winsong.
Nói sự thật cho Villa. She smiles at Winsong, giving her a wink.
We all know who the mysterious hero was that gave us a helping hand.
I didn't do anything.
It's no shame to have helped your friends, not to mention to stand up to Zeno. Have more confidence in yourself, Comrade Winsong.
Có răng nanh à?
But will you really gain anything from this fight?
Răng thường. Có hai cái nốt ruồi duyên.
Not sure. But we have to do something, right? That's why I'm here.
To talk to me? I don't know why, but Miss Vila, you must have thought too much of me. In fact, I'm only a simple researcher. I'm not powerful enough to change Zeno's decision.
You are the one thinking too much, Comrade Winsong. Your ley line lessons were much more popular than you think. They have had a positive effect on the children. Now they are looking at the bigger picture and observing the world in a more detailed way. You've unleashed their curiosity. Is the aurora the bubbles spit out by the stars? They form such a beautiful map. Do they study ley lines too?
Villa finds distress, shaking her head with a pretended childlike confusion.
But it remains the case that the study of ley lines has never been verified. For all its ambitions, only a limited number of people studied it in the past decades, and that number is decreasing even now.
Villa nods thoughtfully.
What you're looking at is not some skin problem, but my past. My past as a Rusalka.
Rusalka. Tiếng cá.
Rusalka? You mean the mermaid from folklore?
My people used to live in a far secluded place in the north, away from the humans. For hundreds of years there was only hostility, plunder and slaughter between us and them. We only started to learn more about each other in the last few decades, and then I was born. It's been a hard life growing up within human society, but I've become used to it. Still, some things never got easier. Most humans still thought I was a freak. They welcomed me with mocking, sarcasm and contempt for my people, my heritage. As for the Rusalki, they too found the half-blooded mermaid unacceptable. They didn't approve of my living among the humans, forcing me to live as a fugitive in Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Moscow. Như là lai giữa người cá và người thường. Nên là không được chào đón được cộng đồng nào cả. Half-blooded, it was not sitting term. One separating the Rayashki from the scaleless human who has stolen their homeland, an ancient myth that was the source of the enduring hatred between Rayashki and
They
humans.
tried to catch me by every means possible, so they could wash away the stain they saw in me.
That sounds very difficult.
Cùng đến Rayashki được chào đón và trở thành giáo
Humans
viên
have
đây luôn.
stigmatized and haunted the Rayashki for centuries, while Rayashki still have the instinct to attack and plunder human ships even now. How are they supposed to make peace in such little time?
Rất chào đón mọi người.
That was what I thought years ago. Then I came to this town.
She surveys the white land. The unifying cover of snow removes all distinctions, differences, and flaws.
A wonderful world where humans and Rayashki could live in peace. I was finally convinced. In Rayashki, everyone can make contributions with their skills, whether you are a human, a Rayashki, or a ley line researcher.
Biết phải có chỗ nào nhỉ? Nhiều chỗ mình không biết được, chỉ có tưởng tượng thôi.
I don't mean to give you more stress or push you. You will always be our friend, whatever your choices. But this is not an unreachable dream. It's real.
A familiar phrase wells up inside her again, conjures from a long silence past. Xong thời còn vui vẻ, sơ vin đầy đủ, không một nửa ra ngoài một nửa ở trong, còn cười lớn nữa. The girl, then much thinner and more stubborn than now, couldn't help but cheer. The other lay hunters failed to take notice as they combed through their scattered paper.
The editor of the environmental research agreed to publish our report, finally! But he only gave us 5,000 words on the last few pages. Undoubtedly, it's still a good start. Our first step to reviving the study of ley lines.
Mọi người đều chán nản rồi, có mỗi mình như Song. Cậu này thì không biết. With some beams with excitement, clumsily sprawling over the table to select from their papers with care. Dull, dry theories shine anew, bright and vivid in her eyes. A table of twinkling stars. Yet, these stars must shine against an all-consuming field of darkness.
That's it, I give up. Maybe I'll study something else, like urban planning or landscape design. At least I can make a living that way.
Học về địa mạch không giải quyết được vấn đề nghèo. Winsong remains buried in a heap of books and manuscripts, oblivious to the loss.
The study of ley lines is outdated. Everyone agrees now that it can't be verified by science. This whole study was a dead end. Ley lines are only a baseless series of arcanum.
Kiểu học về sao nhưng mà sử dụng arcanum skin thì không chứng minh được những lý thuyết về các hành tinh. Giống chương 3, giống phần 1.3. The old papers on the table filled with nothing more than the nonsense and wasted ink. At least that's how the world received it.
I tried talking about our study of ley lines with other arcanists, but almost no one has ever heard of it. They are more interested in Laplace's breakthroughs. Or anecdotes in their own fields, like the chaotic energy sampling mentioned in the paper written by the butterfly of Lorentz.
Tất cả đi, cả mũi, nhưng sao ở lại? theo đuổi, đam mê. The stars have dimmed.
So,
Đang vui vẻ.
maybe it is an unreachable dream?
Không biết giáo sư hướng dẫn cho Winsong là ai nhỉ? Tí nữa là quả giáo sư hướng dẫn đấy là người xấu đến phá hủy thị trấn này chết. A long moment of wistful distraction falls back into reality. After much of hesitation, she begins to speak again.
I do wish I could help, but it would take a lot of resources to verify the theory behind ley lines. There may be even danger and sacrifice. Even Zeno has paid little attention to my research. They only see it as a means to an end. Researchers in other fields can stand on the shoulders of giants, while I don't even have a school to return to. I doubt that the study of ley lines will help you much.
She reaches a few steps back.
I see. Well, thank you for your honesty, Comrade Winsong.
Comrade Winsong. Via looks away, holding the regret deep in her chest.
I'm sorry.
До скорой встречи.
До встречи, Vila.
Nghe hay vậy. She bows her head and turns, taking a few more difficult steps away. Perhaps it was her unattainable dream of revival that slowed her, or the weight of all that had gone wrong.
Wait! Comrade Winsong!
A burst of light steps leaps toward her once more.
Don't forget your next lesson. The children are still waiting.
But the town is...
Dù có thế nào thì giáo dục cũng
Life
tiếp
must
tục.
continue, comrade.
Cuộc sống phải tiếp tục.
We can't let our worries stop us.
Vừa chương trước vừa sống có thể tiếp tục không? Cuộc sống vẫn tiếp tục thôi.
Okay.
To be continued. Chuyến tàu đêm. Ủa, có chuyến tàu đến được thị trấn này à? Không phải có mỗi cảng. Tại nhìn thấy có mỗi cái cảng bến thuyền, chả thấy có đường tàu tay nào vậy. Lớp học Rayashki. Hôm nay không thấy Apus đâu nhỉ? Nhìn vẽ không thấy Apus. As the truck marks its final stroke, the lecturer exhales a long breath.
Class is over. Thank goodness I still remembered the basic premises of ley lines in biology. Feel free to ask me any questions. Oh, cheer up, little ones. There won't be any exams for this subject.
She offers a hesitant joke to ease the awkwardness of the class, but the usual playful responses never emerge. Hình như là buồn quá, không có tinh thần học à? He turns to face a class that must be bored, asleep, maybe distracted. She's met instead by clear and focused eyes.
Miss Winsong, are you going to dig up those potatoes alone again?
Is there anything we can do to help you? Miss Vila said we will work together to beat the critters out there. That we will find their weakness as long as we finish the map with you.
Just like how you taught us to.
Sáng rồi.
Kikirin are not dangerous at all. They are plant-eating critters and pose little threat to humans.
I have ropes, flowers, and white gloves. We will dig up a lot of potatoes together. Piotr is strong. He can move any rocks that are in our way. Nina can prepare a kettle of warm water for everyone. And...
Thằng đội mũ. Mấy người kia mặc đồ bình thường hết. The children's voices rise and fall. What began as icy determination soon melts into the cascade of sobbing tears.
I'm sorry, little ones. I wish I could verify all the theories we've been working on, but...
She affixes Rayashki's light energy map to the blackboard, circling an empty void.
As you can see, a critical part is missing. It might take months to finish it. Besides, there may be even more dangerous critters in that area.
Then the town will become the witch's new castle. Or perhaps an empty castle.
Dino là phù thủy. Her attempt to turn the mood again falls flat. A merciful bell rings out the dreary topic like a dirge. Thankfully, the next teacher arrives swiftly to relieve her.
Quiet, children.
She holds her gaze firm, sweeping over the assembled children.
Wipe your tears and cheer up. Our Rayashki will stand strong.
Really?
But what are you going to do?
Winsong is taken back at first, then contemplating the possibilities, she delicately waves her words.
Vila, I hope you aren't seriously considering Xenos.
Of course not. They might try, but we will never give in. No matter what, for now, we must find a way to protect our town. We will need a shelter from these critters. We've all decided to stay.
The curtains part. The sunlight pours in from outside. Có mặt trời rồi. Tuyết đã ngừng. Mùa hè đã
Look
trở lại.
outside, children. Each and every one of us is doing what we can to hold our town together.
Knut's factory is spitting out puffy bubbles?
The workers are going to transform the abandoned factories into something useful. They're cleaning the ore and debris there. Not an easy job. After that, we will start new production lines and cooperate with the surrounding cities. We will grow potatoes, breed fish, and make canned food. We will find our strength together.
Are we putting makeup on the factories? We can paint their faces and put beautiful garlands on them.
So what is Mr. Patrick doing?
Everyone's waiting in line. Is it the Teen Hat Festival again?
I'm sorry, August. I think we will have to live without our tin hats and Comrade Blinchik for a long time. They are signing on to a reform of our rationing. To transform our factories, we need to cut down the budget for the canteen.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Comrade Blinchik. You deserve a medal and some chocolate.
Look! The bulldozers are tearing down those houses.
Yes. We all agreed to exchange some of our living space for more land to grow food.
The children crowd the windows, silent, screaming, so follows Vila's narratives to its conclusion.
The price is much higher than it first seemed. Is it worth it?
Of course. You cannot find what we have here in Zeno's barracks or in the relief camp. You can't find it anywhere in the world. Think about the old comrades and the babies. They're the past and the future of Rayashki. How could we leave them behind or subject them to Zeno's whims?
Mechanical sounds from outside carry across the snow from afar, as if the land itself is calling.
No one shall ever be abandoned in Rayashki.
I think people out there would be envious if they saw what you are doing here.
She doesn't press further.
We really aren't doing anything so special. We're only doing our job, our duty to one another.
Her scales and spines have risen, though whether it's a sign of pride or fear, she can't say.
There are lots of conflicts out there. Conflicts like the one between humans and Rayashki, like the ones that mocked the study of ley lines and dissolved our school. They did so simply because it might take from their funds or steal their glory. Everyone forever building walls just to keep separated from each other, hoarding whatever they could get their hands on. Then they blame the aftermath, the harm they do to others, on cruel realities. Cruel reality. It seems to be everyone's mortal enemy, the cause of all suffering, war, greed, the perfect excuse to never care.
Her voice trails into the mutter.
But things are different in Rayashki. They took me in unconditionally when I came here, and they stayed friendly for a week, a month, a year, and even now. So naturally, it became my dream too. Everyone here shares a beautiful dream. A dream that we can work and enjoy life together. That someday, there will be no more conflicts between people or worries about tomorrow. That everyone will be able to work to achieve their passions, whatever field they wish to pursue. A utopia. It's not just a way of life for now, but the future we're always trying to reach. I've spread the study of ley lines in Rayashki, along with its potential.
A simple invitation catches Winsong's eye, with dense, messy signatures filling every possible space.
They showed great interest. The study tells us about the secrets that could lie beneath the earth after all. Perhaps it will bring hope to Rayashki.
But I'm not one of you.
You taught the children something new, and you helped us explore our town's potential. Didn't you? Everyone here is more than happy to help you. You know, Comrade Knut has been boasting about the assistance he was able to provide for your studies. And many others are envious. They want to help you too. More importantly, you already have a group of curious students here willing to study your theory. Now, allow me to ask you again, Comrade Winsong. Would you hold a lecture on ley lines for all the citizens of Rayashki?
Even though my research doesn't have any endorsements or achievements?
Of course. Perhaps we can be the first to endorse it after your lecture.
You're being far too obvious in your recruitment tactics.
Vila smiles, ignoring her fine protest.
The world is not a beautiful place. Poverty, privilege, egoism, exclusivism, so many problems. But that doesn't mean it can't get better in the future. Perhaps the experiment we're doing in Rayashki now will become the symbol of a better future. A new world where all races and ideas can coexist. Well, of course it may fail and end up a ruin, but at least we've tried.
She watches Vila standing proudly, as if gazing at the great ship bound for distant shores, venturing on, never shrinking back.
We love our home, and we're ready to devote our lives to it.
I can't shake the feeling you're inviting me aboard a leaky boat that could sink at any moment.
Maybe, Comrade Winsong. But should we sink, remember your friend is a Rusalka, and we do well underwater.
Winsong blinks, half wondering if her new friend has gone mad, and finding it madder still that she is reaching out to solemnly accept the invitation.
What an honor.
What an honor. Rất là vinh hạnh. Đây là sau cơn mưa trời lại nắng, sau cơn nắng trời lại nổi bão. So long, Zeno. Chúng ta vẫn chưa đến được cao trào của câu chuyện này. The crowd has gathered together again. It is a familiar place, one she visited in dreams before. This time, though, her watcher seems more curious than doubtful. The eager eyes follow her every move.
Today, I'm going to introduce the study of ley lines and the progress of my research on the Rayashki.
Winsong takes a deep breath, pulling out a few pages of research notes. The pages are passed from hand to hand, stirring excitement.
Thanks to your help, I have finished a draft of the town's ley energy map, and I have confirmed the presence of many precious resources.
Through these colorful lines?
These lines and spots show us the state of local ley energy. Each color represents a different concentration of creatures or minerals. Simply put, this area covered in frozen earth and frost contains many rich resource veins. These gray marks symbolize them. They are located in most of the corners of the map, all of them outside of town.
Oh, maybe that's why Grandpa said we couldn't grow anything here in the beginning. They eventually solved that problem by importing rich black topsoil for our fields.
As for the runium you've mined to make a living, look at the dark gray marks. According to the map, they are becoming increasingly scattered and faint, so it can be hard to see them. Besides resources, we can also find concentrations of different creatures using the map. The navy blue marks represent the Kikirn, while the aqua green ones represent the mutant Kikirn from the wharf. They feed on plants, and you can find their traces in many corners of the town. The red-brown marks are the Kikituks, an aggressive species. They're vicious by nature and prey on just about anything arcane they can find, even other creatures.
I feel as though my head is going to explode from all this new information. Can you explain a little simpler for this old workhorse, Comrade Winsong?
Of course.
She proudly produces a small handful of fluff.
This sample comes from a Kikituk in the mine. I took it with Mr. Yevgeny's help.
Seems like just a normal piece of fluff, no matter how I look at it.
Yes, and in most people's eyes, it's nothing more than that. But in a lay hunter's eyes, it reveals a great deal of information. The navy blue marks and the red-brown ones seem to mix together, and there are also dark gray ones popping out among them. So, it looks like our Mr. Kikituk ate well. Perhaps he had a kikin soup with a runium-flavored kefir.
Looks like these critters have realized our dream long before we could.
But what about those black marks? If my memory serves me right, the map you just showed us had those black marks too.
Yes, but they don't match any creature or resource we know. I believe it represents a new kind of resource.
Oh. Well, where is it then?
The mood has intensified. Residents clamoring around to see.
We can only find the answer in this area here.
You mean in the depths of the mine?
Winsong gives a slow affirmative nod.
The ley energy is emanating from there. Afterwards, it flows throughout the food chain, passing through all kinds of creatures and materials before eventually returning to its source. Then our new resource is probably somewhere there.
So we need to find it. Then we won't have to put up with Zeno anymore.
The audience sparks up. Rippling murmurs turn into the burst of questions and excitement.
But do you have any other proof?
He lays out his hand, as if expecting Winsong to put something here.
Of course. Remember the critter you found in the mine, Mr. Knut?
Yes! You said it was called, Hoituk.
Hoituk, a subspecies of Kikituk. They live underground and feed on minerals.
That was around the time we had begun to run out of rhodium.
Is that so? But they were still there. Perhaps even more active than usual. That could only mean they were attracted by some other mineral or energy source, right? And even though I didn't find any further Hoituks during my research, I did find the Olga mutants, one of their close relatives. Since they are social creatures, my discovery must prove the presence of some of these Hoituks, even if we cannot find them yet.
The surrounding cheers swell again, prompting Evgeny to clear his throat.
But in the end, this is all just conjecture. Are we really going to waste all our time and money on your assumptions? Or can you prove it's something more than conjecture?
I would call it a preliminary conclusion.
But could it be endorsed by any authorities or proven theories?
So far, no.
So then it is little more than a fairy tale. Am I right?
I admit, it's a gamble.
Evgeny's now infamous brow furies once more.
It's never easy to dig, you know. And Zeno has already withdrawn all their own equipment. All we have left in Rayashki are some outdated machines. Besides, Miss Winsong mentioned the critters. Maybe their presence there is some kind of proof, but they are themselves a danger. It is obvious that there will be many more critters there than near the town. And you would have us waste time, perhaps even sacrifice our comrades, to pursue what could just be a fairy tale?
He advances closer, step by step. Winsong's mouth opens silently. The look on his face is too familiar. The moments before the collapse of her Leyline Academia. Yes, that is the look. The suffocating weight of the questions and regrets.
There is no doubt the cost is simply too high. Who would be foolish enough to dig some holes in the wild just to see if there are critter bones in them?
Harsh sounds of laughter come from everywhere and nowhere all at once.
The answer is very clear. We don't need new kind of geography meets with arcane. Let's save everybody some trouble. Conclusion: the application for Project Leyline should be rejected.
Agreed.
Even cranks can apply for research funds nowadays.
She staggers back, bumping into something solid. A strange yet familiarly cold sensation lands on her shoulder. Villa stands behind her.
Keep moving, Comrade Winsong. Keep moving.
Keep moving.
The people of Rayashki don't back down in the face of their problems. Whatever it is, we can fix it together, right? I approve of Comrade Winsong's proposal.
Me too! Me too. Her surging ship launches forward, blowing through stubbornness and doubt, never looking back.
That's right. This is not a gamble or a fairy tale.
Her hands tremble as she opens her backpack.
Here's a ley line simulator. It can simulate the creatures on the ley energy map, so we can do further analysis.
Is it able to simulate the critters too?
Certainly. Simulating critters is lesson 1 in the ley line textbook. We can use the simulation to carry out targeted training against the critters.
Looks like the study of ley lines is more organized than I thought. Congratulations, Comrade Winsong. You will have the manpower you need.
Winsong turns as more and more fists are raised into the air.
Turn it on, comrade!
Turn it on, comrade.
We can't wait!
A deep breath. The glance confirms that all is ready. Then Pokemon. That's Pokemon. Biến thành hình con ký túc rồi. Evgeny instinctively positions himself in front of everyone.
It's like digging the mine all over again.
That was the biggest achievement of my life.
Let's do this, comrades.
Let's do this.
Digging like this is no easy work.
They roll up their sleeves, pressing forwards confidently. Lại đánh gọi cái ký túc à?
I can't wait anymore.
Can't wait anymore.
The moment.
Start me up. Rock, rock, rock. Change the world. Foolish.
Foolish.
Don't touch my bag! Start me up!
We've walked in long nights.
Left hand up! Now right hand up!
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Move up.
That was one powerful blow.
Cái thiết bị nhỏ tí thế mà mô phỏng được luôn ạ. Sợ thật. The square is now poked by the groups of disheveled workers, resting after their rigorous exertion. Winsong's back is soaked, and her simulator creased with stress.
I think we can draw our conclusions now.
The old bench grown beneath her boots as she nimbly propels herself onto its narrow back.
Everyone, we have to admit, this is going to be a risky operation, but it's also our last chance to protect our land and our people. We must explore the mine. There will be danger. Yes, some of us may get hurt, but we may also find this new resource and save our Rayashki.
For you, for me, for everyone.
There is no cheer that rises to meet her. The only thing audible now is the distant sea breeze buffeting the shore.
We can already expect that critters have occupied the mine. We'll just have to work together to drive them away. We dug this mine with our old machines once, and we'll do it again. This is how we've made it so far.
The crowd rises, pulling in together. Wind sounds look up and outward.
However old they are now, they will always be our children, right? Yuri, you're good at the assembly, huh? Nikita, you're gonna be busy with the engines. Valeria, we need you for the screws.
More and more stars light up. They outshine the twinkling snow. Cuối cùng cũng đã đẩy được câu chuyện lên phần đánh nhau nhiều. Chuẩn bị đến vào khu mine rồi. Chuẩn bị vào khu mỏ rồi. Thôi, chương 13 chắc là số đẹp nhỉ. Đẹp chắc dừng ở đây. Ui, ngày mới rồi. Thứ 3 nhập vì là sợi trong xanh ngày này. Ra chuyện phát nào. $29k đồ up. Liệu đủ villa lên 50 chưa? Villa làm ơn hãy lên 50 đi.
Oh, Miss Virgin,
Ui, vẫn thiếu.
I suggest we spend more time together like this to share more ideas.
1k. 1k. Nó ra được 1k. Đi tiếp Limbo, test thử Limbo 5 này. Xem liệu Villa có qua được cái Limbo 5 này không. Kỳ ra đánh ấy à, đánh Medicine Pocket à. Sợ vãi. Villa còn chưa nâng cấp lên mắt. Ý, không auto nữa. Chết đấy. Đánh thử trước đi. Buff cho
I admire your courage.
Good timing.
đấm chết con này đi.
Be serious. Stay focused.
Hard scale.
Frost you with the armor of the forest.
Trâu đấy.
Cradle.
Don't worry.
What's your race?
Yo ai?
I will remember your sacrifice.
Say hello.
Frost you with the armor of the forest.
For the good of all.
Freaking dumbass!
Be serious. What's your race? Be serious. Stay focused. Don't.
Freaking dumbass!
Thì đang tất cả một cái bắp. Đấy.
Just like in the training.
Tự nhiên.
I admire your courage.
Cho David đấm.
Oh, don't worry. I have
Cái bắp
prepared it
luôn.
all. I have prepared it all.
Together, we are fearless.
Hơi xui tí.
I'm losing my patience.
Chơi.
The reticent woods are watching you.
Dùng phát đỡ phí. Trên bắp trên Rubik rồi. Không có cái bắp nào. Chán đấy.
The reticent woods are watching you. Good timing. I weave the gown with thorns. You shall repay with sacrifice of wounds.
Nó mang hết đi. Ồ, kháng, tốt, có kháng lắm. Tốt. Tốt. Được đấy. Chuẩn bị. Đấy à. Viết. Có viết được không nhỉ? Sao dùng đánh thường.
What's your rate? Be serious.
Good timing. Nhàn tí. Đội không bắt được đấy thôi. Đi sao mày ạ?
Advice from the forest.
Đi, chưa giết được. Chắc không chết đâu. Bây giờ không bắt được. Tôi đi ra sát.
I will remember your sacrifice. We share the same dream.
Có nghe được không?
Sharp pain. To a brighter future for everyone.
Penetrate.
Hết đi. Đừng ultimate phát. Cái này thì cho đi viết đi.
Good timing.
What's your race? Be serious. Stay focused.
No need to look back.
Go, go.
Có vẻ hơi nhầm. Mày không chết. Dùng
Just like the prophecies of the world.
Hóa đá mà lại cho đem reality đánh sau. Nó tỉnh lại. Combo hơi lệch. Con gì đây? Có một con này. Ồ, đích kìa. Tim mình chắc ổn. Chết không nhỉ? Chắc không chết đâu.
Duty lies with you.
Đích cơ đánh đơn mà.
The moment of utterance.
Let the show begin.
Benefit from reading.
Đích cơ màu cho chết. Một mod khác.
Feel it pain and know with regret.
Start me up. They're just start me up.
Start me up.
Left hand up. Now right hand up. Rock, change the world.
Nice. Minerals này. Gọi các mình luôn.
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Bugs.
Này à.
The moment of silence.
Are you ready to be blinded?
Benefit from reading.
Resistance is futile.
Illusion is enough. Are you ready to shake?
Resistance is futile.
Mất một cái sáng rồi. Tính là giảm một phát này.
They're just little games. This shall be my own. Let the show begin. Light.
Critic. Yes.
Thy ending is destined. Foolish.
Thì có quý tiếp không? Anh còn may mắn tiếp.
The moment of utterance.
Start me up. They're just little games. Light.
tăng thêm một turn rồi.
Left hand up. Now right hand up.
Liên tiếp. Un là chắc mình bay rồi thôi.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Charlie có vẻ như sắp ngất. Cho 6.
Time comes to speak of truth.
Up Charlie.
The moment of silence.
Thì Charlie núp vào này xem.
I shall take thy word.
Ổn không?
The scale of your soul has tilted.
Speaker đấm
The
phát chắc là
balance
trên luôn
needs to be
Charlie.
restored.
Không biết Speaker đấm ai. Crit. Vâng. Ok Charlie.
Ye provoked me.
7 màu. 21k.
Thou shalt make an atonement for thy sins.
Giờ đồ 6 có tác dụng gì nữa?
Pay for thy sins with thy blood.
Cần bay màu Charlie rồi. Giờ đến lượt đấy. Đến lượt tận.
Stop me up. They're just little games.
Chắc qua rồi.
Illusion is enough.
Khỏe mà.
Rock, rock, rock. Change the world.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Xong phần 5. Phần 6 chắc là mình cày nốt even, lấy nguyên liệu up villa đã. Cho villa lên xem. Ổn không? Con gì đây? Poon Andrew. Bọn này khỏe phết. Mấy đứa này đánh khá là khó chịu. Toàn giảm Moxie. Thôi video này chắc dừng đây thôi. Cảm ơn mọi người xem video mình nhé.